distant galaxy, the darkened caverns of a cruel world hold the secret to a fantastic adventure. A quest to free a world from slavery and the universe from tyranny. A quest for truth, dignity, and freedom.
There is a world above, a magnificent universe to which you can return if you have the courage.
A quest for Starchaser, the Legend of Orin.
Thousands of years ago, on some obscure planet, a primitive chess computer was the first inorganic mind to beat man. In a few hours, I will be calling checkmate in the last such game the humans and their kind will ever play. Behold, the great god of my world. Murderer! Without this, you are but a weak piece of flesh. Tell me, Kaka, what is the secret of its power? You know, and you will talk. Khan, you are mine.
The greatest adventure of all time is here. The search for truth, the battle for freedom, an immortal struggle against the forces of evil. On an incredible journey to the edge of imagination and beyond, the legend lives on in a thrilling fight for survival. Starchaser, the Legend of Orin. The fantasy experience of a lifetime.
Hey up, it's Steve from the Old Yorkshire Geek. Sorry about the quality of that trailer. It wasn't very good, was it? Hang on, sort my hair out. It's all school with. So, welcome to Magnificent Mondays. This week we're on episode, what are we on? 4. We're on episode 4. Starchaser, the Legend of Orin. And we've got Windgrace in already. And we've got Leonhard 7221 Able. Asking, did he just say caca? Yes, well, it's a cacan. But yes, all I think about is caca. I'm thinking of I forgot his name now. Sean William Scott in Evolution. That's all I can think of. Anyway, so hang on, let me get rid of this. Pressing buttons. Stop it. Go away. Yes, what's up? Yes, hang on, there we go. Did he just say caca? Yes, he did. And yes, it was a nice speech. I presume you're on about Zygon, where he's saying thousands of years ago, a primitive on some backwater planet, a primitive chess computer was the first inorganic mind to beat man. Cool. Selenium is always a solution, is it? I don't know. I don't know. It's I forgot to call it now. I forgot the name of the crystals in this film. Anyway, so Starchaser, The Legend of Orin from 1985, animated film directed by Stephen Hahn, written by Jeffrey Scott, starring Joe Colligan, who I've never heard of, Carmen Argenziano, who you may know from Stargate SG-1, he plays Jacob Carter, Noel North, never heard of her, Anthony DeLongis, who I know from Star Trek Voyager, he played Marge Culler in Star Trek Voyager, Tyke Caravelli, who I've never heard of, and Les Tremayne. If you watch a lot of 50s sci-fi, he basically plays every general in every 50s sci-fi movie. And according to Wikipedia, It's a bit confused about the budgets. It says budget $14 million, but it says down below where it says production that it ballooned from 2 million to 6 million. So it's either 6 million or 14 million, whatever. But it didn't do well at the box office. Right. Yes, selenium. Yes, evolution. Yes, it's what makes the hair all lovely, isn't it? Yes. Yes, of course. It's been a while since I've watched it. Evolution, whatever. Leonhard says, I should do Alien or Scream next. They're my favourites. Well, I'm sure I'll get round to them eventually, maybe. We will see. But if I do Alien, then I've got to do Aliens and, well, all of them, basically. Because I like them all. Even the bad ones. Right, so let's get on with this film. Obviously, I'm not going to... by the way, before we start, don't forget, like and subscribe, share the videos, drop a comment, hit the notification bell if you subscribe already. We're live on YouTube. Let me just double check. We're live on YouTube. We're live on Rumble. We're live on Twitch. Yes, we are. Later on, I'll be uploading it to Spotify, Amazon Music Podcasts, and Google Podcasts. I'm on Facebook, X, Instagram. Links in the description, as has links to my 2 books. They're down there. Hang on. I've moved me. You know, I said the other day I had a hard drive and I couldn't get to my books because they were underneath the hard drive. I've moved the hard drive. So my 2 books: Silent Predator, a short horror novella about big cats eating people in North Yorkshire, and Mercury Rapids, a light-hearted sci-fi action adventure about UFOs and stuff. On Amazon Kindle and paperback, just a bit of fun. Archmage phrase arrived. That mysterious man from Twitch is saying Iron Maiden. Well, yes, I've got lots of Iron Maiden t-shirts. Love me a bit of Iron Maiden. Right. So yeah, I've got the hair for it, haven't I? Right. So is Starchaser good? Yes, it is good, which is why it's on Magnificent Mondays. Because that's when we do good stuff. Hang on, my camera's moved a bit. There we go. Hang on. Is it my monitor that's moved a bit? There we go. There we go. Right, so we'll get on with the film. Obviously, I'm not just going to play it because that would be wrong and I get into trouble. We're going to watch it in a series of stills. So let's have a look and we'll talk about it as we go. Right. Right. Is it going to start playing? Yes, we are. Right, we're off. They're muted. Let's make sure I muted it. Yeah, right. So off we go. MGM. There we go. So, stars. Atlantic releasing, apparently. Going to be here a while if it does it like this, aren't we? So, credits. There we go. Starchaser, The Legend of Orin. By the way, Starchaser is the name of the ship. Leonhard is saying... what's he gone? Almost overtaking the count of Monday Moon. Yes, I don't know. How did we do that? I think we did 8, didn't we? Yeah, I'm going to try and get to 10, but it was depressing me. We got to 8. So I think we're going to do more than 8 of Magnificent Mondays. And Leonhard says, trailer looks like a Star Wars ripoff. Well, yeah, it is kind of, but it kind of rips off a lot of different things. And I think, in my personal opinion, I think it's inspired some things, but we'll get to that. By the way, Starchaser is the name of the ship in the film, that one there, which I think is cool. I'd love to have a model of the Starchaser. And Orin is the name of the hero. Right, off we go. Hang on. Right, so the voices of, there we go, blah, blah, blah. Right, we start off, we're on the planet Trinia, in the mines, deep below the surface. The mine in rubidamide. Is it rubidamide? That sounds about right, doesn't it? Let me double check, see if it says. See if it says. It doesn't say. I don't think. I'm just checking on Wikipedia, see if it says if they're called rubidamide. No, it just says crystals. I think it's rubidamide. It sounds right. It sounds right. No, not the planet Trania. We've got no Clint Howard in this film. As far as I know, you never know. He might have turned up at some point. Anyway, right, where were we? Planet Trinia. And they're in the mines. As you can see, they're working away. The people, these are the slaves, human slaves, deep below the surface, under the charge of the overseers, who are robots. There they are. they're well tanned, aren't they, for people that live underground all the time? You know, they're very dark skinned. Anyway, so they're all, press the wrong button. There we go. That's Orin working away. Oh, we've got subtitles. I just noticed. Hang on, I haven't put it on, have I? Oh, I tell you. There we go. Forgot to make myself titchy tiny as well. Tell you, I'm such an idiot. Shall we start again? We'll start again. Such a dope. We'll go back. Hang on, I'm pressing the wrong button. There we go. We'll go back. I'm a right div, aren't I? I'm a right div. Anyway. Right, so off we go. Who's naked? Is he naked? I don't know. Am I? What did I take it off? Was it on? I can't remember. Anyway, right, we're off. We're off. Starchaser, the Legend of Orin. It's going to be fun, isn't it? Right, Planet Trinia, as I said before. People working in the mines, deep below the surface, mining rubidamide crystals, which is like a power source. It's like a fuel that they use in this universe. The people are slaves, the human slaves, being overseen by robot overseers. And they've got like laser whips. And as you see there, and you know, they're brutal, and there's no quarter given. Get back to work and all that stuff. And this is Elan is the love interest of Orin. This is her grandfather, and he's not doing well. He's been he's been digging for 70 years. He's not going to give up now. But Orin was putting some of his crystals in grandfather's bucket. Yes, the 25% different Cylons. Yes. Anyway, there we go. But she says you can't carry on doing the work of 2, and he says, for the prettiest girl in the world, I do the work of 10. As I said, they're very well tanned for people that live underground. Anyway, back to work. So they get back to work. This is Orin's brother, whose name I can't remember. What's his name? What's his bloody name now? Callie. That's it, Callie. This is Orin's little brother, who's blind, as you can see. Are they going to kiss? Oh, yes, the kiss. His job is to bring water to the workers. But as he does that, there's a cave in, and some poor fella, not Callie, don't worry, gets squashed under the rocks, and we see his toes, like doing that before he dies. And she's like, she must either his wife or whatever saying, "Oh no." But then the robots come in and say, "Back to work." There we go. He's no use to anyone now. So there we go. And then one of the robots almost trips over Callie, and then he goes to boot him out of the way, but Orin intervenes, but gets a laser whip around his neck. And you think they're going to kill him. Just as they're about to kill him, the alarm goes off, like the big chime goes off. Boom! So they're all called to the big stone thing. They're called to that, and Zygon's going to appear. And there we go. They're all calling his name because they think he's like some sort of god. So he appears out of the fire, and they all got to get on their knees. Obviously, Orin's not going to get on his knees, so there we go, on your knees. So they go, give it a bit of that. They're all looking. It's a diverse selection. It's a very diverse animated movie. It is. There we go. There's Zygon, voiced by Anthony DeLongis. Joe Colligan does Orin. So he's telling them basically the gods of the mine world are angry, so you've got to dig more crystals to make them happier, etc. You know, so dig harder or die. That's what they're told. There we go. Feed more crystals. There we go. Or the life-giving energy will burn out forever. So I say dig harder or die. Then he goes back in. Then they put some crystals in, and then the crystals go in. Why are they only pictures? Because if I just played the film, I'd get into trouble with YouTube, wouldn't I? So we're just going through it in a series of stills. I might play the occasional little bit, but I'd just get a copyright strike, and stream would be stopped. So the crystals go in, and out comes some bread, and so they all go rushing for the food, and there it is. They're all fighting over it. So anyway, so they're off back to work. So then we see as Callie's eating some bread, Orin's back at work, and then he comes over. He finds a sword. There we go. As you see there, finds a sword buried in the stones. Don't know how it got there. Can't play the video because I'll get into trouble. I can play clips like up to 8 seconds or something like that. But YouTube doesn't let you play films for the most part. Not live, anyway. Right, so apparently Grandpa knows about this. It was just a myth. And says you can't tell the guards because Callie says, we're under orders. If we find anything, we've got to give it to the mine masters. I'm sorry, Leonhard, if you've been waiting 4 hours for this. I do apologise if it's not what you expected. Maybe you should have watched one of the other videos. I'm sorry. This is how I do it. If I just played the video, then YouTube would stop the stream. It's a copyright. You have got a copyright strike. The stream has been stopped. So I do apologise. Nothing I can do about it. Right. Where were we? They must not get this. That's what he's saying. Yes. So they can't give it to the guards. And but a guard arrives, and he's going to use his whip, and then Grandpa gets in the way and gets a whip round his face, and there you go. The guard says "madman" and walks off. And Grandfather dies. So then they decide they're going to leave. In a minute. There you go, he died for no reason. Then it's to do with this sword. So and then he holds the sword and he activates. Thusly, there you go. He activates. And then we get a recorded message from an ascended being. I'm a subscribe. Yeah, so I've subscribed to your channel as well, Anyway, and then he says, if you're watching this, perhaps it's not too late. Tells them that they're not from the mines. I don't know how he knows about the mines because it's from like 1,000 years ago. But never mind. He says there's a magnificent universe that you can all return to if you have the courage. Oh, there we go. So then he goes back into the sword, and then the hilt, the sword blade disappears. So we've only got the hilt now. So there we go. This fella, I don't know his name. He demands that they go and use the give the hilt to the mine masters. But obviously, Orin's not going to do that. So they fight. There we go. Say never dig up. That's the most sacred commandment. Never dig up. Up is hell. So anyway, they have a fight. There you go. He knocks him out. So he decides. Him and Elan decide they've got to go and get to the upper world if they can. So off they go. But they don't take Callie with him because he's blind and he'd get in the way. So they leave Callie with Aunt, whatever, Bella. There we go. So it says they'll come back for him. So off they go, sneaking up to the up to try and get to the surface. But obviously Callie follows them, but because they forgot the food because they're idiots. Anyway, so they're working the way and they nearly get caught by a guard. Orin takes out the guard, but they escape in the mine carts as some more guards come. There we go. They get on the mine carts. By the way, this was originally released in 3D, apparently. So you do get some sensation that some shots that might look good in 3D. Leonhard says, I liked watching you play the PS5 more. Well, do apologise. I'm sorry. If you don't like it, don't watch it. That's all I can say. This is what I do when I do my Magnificent Mondays and my Friday night appointment with Fear. I am sorry. Right. There were we. So they're on the minecarts. Right. They're being followed by the guards. They take a couple of the guards out. Well, they take both of them out. He knocks one over, uses his drill thing on the other one. Callie makes a run for it. They get out. Then loads of guards appear. And I can't remember what they call it now. This thing here that has got the crystals in starts going into the where the flames are. So they jump in. There you go. He takes out another guard. They jump in. Almost falls to his death. It's got strong finger ends, hasn't it? Got strong finger ends. But he gets up. Anyway, they go through the flames now. These flames that are coming down. And obviously they're not real flames because these crystals are like super dangerous. So it must be like some sort of image, a mirage or something like that. Because they go underneath and hang on, they go underneath. When they come out the other side, hang on, they're going under. They come out the other side. Obviously, they're not dead. They're in a technological place. They're not in the mines anymore. They don't understand because they've only known the mines the whole life. They don't know what's going on. They think they're feeding the gods for food. So anyway, they're in obviously a processing plant, a crystal processing plant that's been run by robots, as you can see there. But they get caught. They go start shooting at them. But then Zygon appears. Here he is. Takes off his mask. And but Zygon tells them that they now know what only one other slave has known in the last 1,200 years. That it's all an illusion. So he grabs Alan by the throat. There we go. In a minute, there you go. And basically kills her. Kills Alan, throttles her to death. So in front of Orin. And then he notices Orin's got the hilt. He obviously knows about this. So he's saying, where did he get this? And he grabs it, but it glows and burns his hand or something. So he drops it. And there you go. Orin takes this opportunity to run off and they start shooting at him with their lasers, guns. And Zygon says, no, watch the crystals. But then it all blows up because they hit the crystals. When the dust clears, Orin's alive still. He goes to check on Alan. She's dead. He says, if there's an upper world, I'll find it for you, Alan. So he goes. Not the Alan of Troy, this Windgrace. So he goes and grabs the hilt. Oh, I see Zygon, gives him a glare. So they all go in after him, got to kill the boy. There you go, lasers. Another collapse. It says a fitting grave for a slave of Trinia. And he thinks Orin's dead now, but he's not. He's fine. So now he's got to dig up. Remember, up is hell. It's for the world is hollow, and I've watched my girlfriend die, says Windgrace. Hey. Anyway. Right. So he's digging up and eating the food that thankfully Callie got to him. But anyway, so there's a passage of time, he's digging for a while. He runs out of food, he runs out of water. We see him sleeping. So it's obviously taking him days and days to get this far. But then as he's asleep, these weird leeches appear. There we go. Come out of the ground above him and start drinking his blood. It's a good job he realises because there's quite a few of them and he pulls them all off. He falls a bit, not a long way. He falls a bit, but then he loses his laser drill. He's like, oh, crikey. So he climbs back up, and then he's fed up, obviously. He's thinking, well, what am I going to do now? I've no laser drill. And so he looks to the hilt, and he says, where's your magnificent universe, old man? And there you go. And then he holds up the hilt, and as he does, there you go, he makes a hole. And he was there. He was at the surface. He was just a couple of feet away. There you go. He sees stars above. So I'll do more Jurassic World Evolution videos, Leonhard. But not tonight. It'll be tomorrow, probably. Right, so he climbs up. he sees the sky for the first time in his life, and he's on the surface of the planet Trinia, and it's weird. It's actually it reminds me a bit of Pandora on Avatar. So he goes wandering through, seeing waterfalls and strange plants are these things that close when he approaches them, a bit like we saw on Avatar. But anyway, as he's walking, he sees weird things. He sees a creature in the water. As he backs away, he trips up, and this is when we meet the mandroids. Here we go. The mandroids have arrived. They're like robots that take human body parts and graft it onto themselves to make them look like cyborgs. Quite gruesome, to be honest, for a cartoon. It's not a kid's cartoon, really, is this, to be completely honest? So they want to cut up Orin. There you go. That's one of the mandroids' guts all churning and bubbling. Right. So there it is. They're going to chop him up and use him for body parts. They're falling out about it. Who gets what? So they're going to tie him up. They're deciding who's going to get what. She wants one of his arms, and this one. They've got names, but I can't remember the names. I don't know if it says. I think it just says Mandroid 1 and Mandroid 2. I think, yeah, it does. They don't have names. Anyway, so they start fighting over him. There you go. One gets thrown across there. And then this one here, I don't know his name, but he's a weird bugger, isn't he? He finds the hilt. There you go. He finds the hilt there. And then as he says, the other one says, the one that's in charge says, give me it. And he's like, pulls away. And as he does that, he chops the one with the red hair in half, as we see. Hang on a minute. I'm going to do it now. No, I've missed it too far. Come on, show us. There we go. Cuts her in half. There we go. So she's dead. So he drops the hilt. Then he drops it. There's this weird one, and it lands blade up, and that one goes towards it and impales himself on the man. The mandroid impales himself on the blade. So it's an invisible blade it's got, but it's not always there, which is peculiar. So that one's killed himself essentially on the blade, and Orin says yes. He says you're doing this, and Orin says yes. It's human magic. I can kill you as well. So he says, bring me the hilt. So he brings him the hilt, and he says, basically cut the vines, whatever, and he takes the sword back and frees himself and goes running off. And as he's running off, he runs past those two, and the other one says, he's dangerous, he's killed everyone. And one of them says, I'll wear his feet. So they go chasing after him. And anyway, this is where we meet Dag Dabrini. There we go. Dag Dabrini's arrived, voiced by Carmen Argenziano. Is that how you pronounce it? Something like that, isn't it? Yes, it is, yes. This is where we meet him. He's basically Han Solo. So he's got Orin by the throat, and he takes out the two mandroids that are chasing him. There we go. Don't see his face yet. There we go. That's two of them. All right. So it tells him what are you doing? So Orin tries to kill him with the sword, but it doesn't do anything because it doesn't kill humans. It just kills robots and creatures, as we'll see. But it obviously doesn't kill humans. So Dag, he said, "What the hell are you doing?" So he says, "Start talking." And he says, "Where's your ship?" He thinks he's a smuggler. He knows nothing of the mine world, does Dag Dabrini. So he thinks he's there smuggling crystals like he's doing. So calls him Water Snake. And he says he's from the mine world. And he says Dag says everyone from here to the Glass Nebula knows that robots have done all the mining for 1,000 years. And he says, what's a robot? There you go. cut the crap, and then this creature appears and grabs Dag Debrini. So anyway, Orin saves him because the sword will kill a creature. Fine, it'll do that. So that goes away. So Dag saved him. Now he's saved Dag. They're even. So Dag goes about his business. There you go. I saved you. You saved me. We're even. So now he's talking to his ship's computer, Arthur, voiced by Les Tremaine, and he's checking out the security at the pyramid, they call it, which is where the rubidamide crystals are being processed. So they've got to work out a way to get in for his crystals. And a patrol's approaching, as we see in a minute. Dag falls down first and they laugh. And a starfly appears, which is important, as we see, like a little ball of light that follows them about. Like we saw in that Stargate episode where they kept they were after the food, weren't they, on that was it Atlantis, Stargate Atlantis episode. Anyway. So a patrol's coming. Right, so they have to get back to the ship, because a patrol's coming, as we see. There you go. Here it comes. Pew pew pews. So here we meet the Starchaser. So they run aboard. There it is, look. Don't just sit there, Arthur. Oh, he swears in it as well. He says, blast those bastards. Swears. So here we go. So that's the Starchaser. So he shoots back. So they're shooting, bad guys and stuff. That's Arthur, the ship's computer. Right, so they have to go and get to the pyramid to get crystals. I was thinking, I know which one you mean, SG-1 Prodigy. No, they were an Atlantis one, weren't they? Where they were, am I getting mixed up? I could be. I thought they were an Atlantis one where they had, there were a ship, a wraith ship that they got into, where they had a couple of unknowns with them, like a couple of red shirts, and they both died, didn't they? And there were some like creatures there, weren't there? Like balls of light. Or I could be getting mixed up, which I probably am. Anyway, so they're going to do some business at the pyramid. But the radar picks them up, and they think it's mandroids. It'll give the gunners target practice. So there you go. But they don't realise it's actually the Starchaser. Says, give them a light show, Arthur. So I was going to fly up and get them with the lasers. Look, pew pew pews, like that. And do some flying about. It says they've got an atomic watchdog on the doorstep, so they've got to that thing. So that's too strong for the ship's blaster, so they've got to find some other way. So they use this Imperial Walker. They use that to take it out. So that's what they're going to do, and then they take that out. So right. So right, so they're in now. So it's going to land the ship. Oh wow, this is where we meet Silica. Sexy robots they've got. Long before Han Solo and the L33T, we've got Dag Debrini and Silica. She's some sort of office robot. She's getting cross because there's all these explosions going on. She's dropping all the papers. See, they've got papers and stuff, even in the far distant future. So she gets cross. And she's going to deal with it. But meanwhile, Dag has got his squad of 6 robots that he's going to use as a shield to get to the main doors. So off he goes with them protecting him and shooting the other robots. And he throws like a grenade thing. See, he's got the papers again. Throws a grenade and he says, hit the deck. Not a grenade, it's like a bomb. I don't know what it is. And it all blows up. And when the dust clears, it's not done anything. He says, damn, they've strengthened the security doors. There you go, access doors, sorry. So he asks the robot if he's any ideas. He says, sorry, sir, I'm programmed for tactical, not engineering. And he says, bargain robots. There you go. So he has an idea. There's a Marcabian transport, whatever they are, hovering there. So he tells the Starchaser, tells Arthur to go and fly up under it and open the top hatch, basically. And he shoots. Oh, there you go. Shoots a hole in it. Must be a good shot. And the crystals fall out into the Starchaser's hold. Right, but before they can escape, Zygon appears and shoots all the robots. There he is. And he's about to kill Dagdabrini when Orin intervenes. Go back down here, go sliding down there. He offers a distraction, a good enough distraction that they can escape. There we go. And she comes out, the Silica, and he grabs Silica as a shield. And so off they go. So he's saying, "You must be my lucky thing." And leave Zygon watching. It always reminds me of. Hang on, go back. It always reminds me of what they call him, Jeff. I forgot his name now. The lead singer with Queensryche, Jeff Tate. It always reminds me of Jeff Tate from Queensryche. The red stuff coming out of that hole, it was crystals, because that's what this planet's there for. Rubidamide crystals, which is a form of fuel that they use. It's very explosive, apparently, as we'll see. Right, so is reprogramming Silica because she's got a bad attitude at the moment. He's having memories of Elan dying. He soon forgets about her when he gets another love interest. To reprogram Silica so she'll basically like him. And it turns out her characteristic circuits are in her bottom. In her posterior. Robots have got bottoms and boobs in this film. Unbelievable. It wouldn't be made today, would it? Would this? Right. So Zygon's going to put out like an all-points bulletin for Orin and the Hilt. And his forces all over the galaxy, I suppose, are going to be looking for it. There you go. There they are. Look. Right, so they're off to Bordegon, which is this planet here. That's where the Starchaser's going. It's like it's a bit like Coruscant, except it's not a. It's like a capital planet, but it's not a city. But you know what I mean. It's like a. It's where the governor lives. So here we are. So they're arriving here, and they're arriving at a city called Togo, which is like Moss Isley. It's a den of scum and villainy. So there we go. All Orin wants to do is go back to Trinia to find the blade, and Dag tells him, "Well, you might find that blade here because everything's at Togo." So off they go into the city from the spaceport. And he leaves Orin to do, his own thing. He bids him goodbye. So as we can see, lots of aliens and stuff being sold as slaves, a slave market. But Dag's selling Silica. Says, how much will I get for her? So says, I'll be back in an hour. There you go. Meanwhile, Orin is going round different shops, asking if they've got a blade that'll fit his hilt, and none of them have. But here we go. One of these robot policemen has spotted Orin. Right, Dagdabreen has gone to go see. I forgot his name. You know what I'm like with names. Mc something or other. Maghreb. Is it Maghreb? Yeah, I think it's Maghreb. I thought it was Mc something. It must be just Maghreb. He's gone to see Maghreb. It was like well, it's like an Arab. This wouldn't be made today. It wouldn't be made today. But he's like a crime boss, and he's telling Dag tells him that he's got tons of all these crystals. So they got a load of crystal hot off the pyramid. So he offers him. He wants 500,000, but McGreb says 200,000. Take it or leave it. So right, so he's got to go into the Bargy Desert to make the trade. But before he goes, he says, "My nosy people, I've seen you with a young boy. My girls don't excite you anymore." Tell you, it's very Vargy Desert, not Bargy. Tell you, I'm thinking of food. So, oh, there we go. That's that. My girls don't excite you anymore. Right, so he's going there. Right, meanwhile, Orin still looking for his blade. And he goes and finds this fortune teller, and he asks her for help. And obviously, she's a con artist, because she tells him that you will find what you need in the darkest regions of the Nova Luna rainforest. It's a load of rubbish because it's not there at all. And he walks away before he can pay her. And she goes, "That's 5 Starbucks." Artist, so it's a good job he didn't pay any attention to her, but he still thinks he's to go to Nova Luna. But anyway, then he notices Silica's about to be sold. There, she's up on the slave market, about to be sold. And this is where we meet Alviana, something like that. Aviana, that's it. So where we meet Aviana, and she wants, there we go, she wants that fembot as her maid. So he says, "I've got to have her." She's the daughter of the governor, by the way, and that's her robot, Mizo, her protector. He's like a butler. He's like C-3PO, but with a gun. A gun in his face, as we'll see later. Anyway, she starts bidding for Silica. So Orin starts bidding because he doesn't know, anything about this sort of thing. So he bids as well. It ends up going to 2,000. You with the 14 noses. And it ends up going to 2,000. So obviously he says, "You're crazy." So Orin's bought her for 2,000 Starbacks. And this fine young gentleman goes, "Water snake." So how would you like to pay for that? Starbacks or gold? And he says, "What's a Starback?" And he says, "You can't pay me. I own you. That's the law." And Dagobah starts walking away, says, "Sorry, kid, it's the law." And then obviously he goes back because he got a heart of gold. So he goes and pays the slave master chap, pays him, and he gets Silica and Orin back. There he is paying him. Right, so they're being followed by the policemen, police robots. There we go. But Dag knows. So they're heading for the Starchaser, being chased. But obviously, they have a gun battle. Here we go. And a fight. Get aboard the Starchaser. I keep saying Stargazer. Starchaser. Hang on, what's that? Sonic live action for my brother. I've not even seen it. That's it. Magnificent Mondays are for films I like. But if I liked it, I might do it if it's one of my favourite films. Anyway, so the takeoff, and they're heading for the Vargy Desert. Right, so here we learn that there's something going on at Trinia. He's got a huge fleet. As Zygon, they're getting ready to basically take over everywhere. So, but Zygon is obsessed, with Orin. What's the status, But he says, but on top of it, sir. Yeah. Right, they're off to the Vargy Desert. So he gives Orin some new clothes. He got like they call it Marty McFly thing, like that. So he's telling him about how Zygon, killed Ilan. Right, so they arrive at the Vargy Desert. Here we are. And these are Maghreb's men, they've got like a big ship that looks like an insect, and they've built a tent under it. You know, because they're supposed to be like Arabs. They're still on Bordegon, by the way. You know, it's a varied planet, as Bordegon. Right, so this fella, this whatever he is, he doesn't look human, does he? Anyway, he takes their weapons and they go in. Says, "You have the crystals," and goes, "You have the money." Uh, anyway, there's a box full of gold. Presume it's gold. So he says, "Blow the ballast." So they just dump all the crystals. Then one of the chaps notices the hilt. He says, "Are you the boy called Orin?" Because obviously they've heard that Zygon's put out basically a bounty on Orin, 1,000,000 starbacks, whatever. So they offered to split the money with Debrime, but obviously he won't. He doesn't want it. Says he's way overpriced. And he says, there we go, if we don't walk out there in the next few seconds, that his ship is programmed to blow the crap out of that tent. Off they go. And that's why he didn't sell him out. They peeled him like a grape. So off they go. The starflies appeared. And it's trying to tell them something. It flies about to the box. And somehow it opens it. We find there's a bomb on board. So fly back, hits the brakes, and they go back because the engines rotate on the Starchaser, so it can stop it like on the dime and go backwards. So they go back and drop the box back with these, and they're like looking goofily at them. There you go. And then we see it blows up. It's some sort of nuke. There it is. Bit overkill, that, isn't it? Bit overkill. Some sort of nuke. So they've escaped that. So like I said, McGreb were just going to kill them. But he wouldn't have got anything out of it. Well, they'd have got the crystals, wouldn't he? But they still paid him the money, hadn't they? But anyway, obviously not 200,000. I suppose most of the room in the box were taken up with the bomb. Right, these police robots, they're there at the crater, and they said they were there less than an hour ago, so they've got a fix on them. So they're flying now over another part of Bordegon, which is kind of green and nice. We're near the area, I think, where the governor's palace is, which is probably why it's quite nice. So anyway, they start getting attacked by there we go, by these police robots. There they are, there, speeders, I suppose you call them. So we have another fight with pew pews and shooting stuff. Where are we? Here we go. And then some more arrive. And so we're doing some more flying about and firing lasers. There you go, loads of them at it. We're gonna head upwards. Ready? Here we go. Play a little game of chicken. So they're heading down. Then they go up. Nearly blow up this poor fella's house. Come on, stop showing us clouds and show us some exciting stuff. Stupid bloody skip. Anyway, right. But basically, they lose. Dag losers, and they shoot them from the front, look, and they smash open the windscreen and all that. And the Starchaser, I keep wanting to say Stargazer. The Starchaser crashes, and Arthur says he's dying, and it crashes into the trees. These police robots come. They give Silica a good old kicking. See that she's not working. Dagda is unconscious, but where's Orin? Where's Orin got to? Don't know. They take Dagda in for questioning, and here we find out what's happened to Orin. Somehow he survived this. Hang on, where are we? Show us. And they don't see him, by the way. They mustn't have very good scanners. There you go. He's got thrown through the windscreen and landed in a tree. And he's well, I won't say he's fine, but he will be soon. Anyway, this person here arrives on some sort of alien horse. But we saw the hilt were there, and a bird picked it up, a hawk, and we see that the bird gives her the it's a her. Hilt. She's into falconry. We see that it's Aviana. Am I getting that right? Aviana. Let me check. Yes, Aviana. We see that it's her. And Mezzy, I forgot what we call him. Mezzy. What they call the bloody robot? Mizzo, that's it. Mizzo's on a horse. Not doing very well. So he says, "Oh, this man's wanted by the police. I'll radio them at once." And she says, "You'll do no such thing. We're taking him back to the palace." So there we go. So they head back to the palace, which is there. By the way, I have some. I've got to play this. I'm going to have to mute it. Bit of rip-off music. Are you ready for listening to this? Bit of imperial thing going on there, isn't there? Hope I don't get into trouble for that. Oh, steady on. What happened there? Pause your bloody thing. Anyway, this is the palace. And we see she's taking him straight to her room as Aviana. So obviously her father don't give a monkeys about the governor. So she's got a young man in her room, and she's basically, hardly dressed, to be completely honest. Oh, Orin wakes up and he thinks he sees Elan, but it's her face melts into the face of Aviana. She's showing her all her wares, but it's got Mizzo says, "In most heavily guarded bedroom in this star system, so don't have any ideas." And he says, "About what? Is he an idiot?" I said, "There's a voluptuous redhead there who's obviously into him. But, he's got plenty of time for that sort of thing." Anyway, she thinks he's a crystal smuggler, and he says he's not. And he tells her about his people, that in the mine world, that they're all slaves. And she doesn't know what he's talking about. This is it's to do with this hilt. And he's getting fed up with it now, he's Orin, and he lashes out with it again, and the blade activates and knocks over the four-poster bed stuff. There we go. There you go. All falls down, look. Oh, he said jammy sod, didn't he? But, anyway, she realizes something's up with this hilt, and it triggers a memory. So there you go. And she says, interplanetary history lessons. But then we cut to Trinia. We're back on Trinia now. So where they've taken Dag de Breme. And he's being tortured, like Han Solo was in Empire Strikes Back. He's being tortured by Zygon. He wants to know, where the boy is. And he doesn't know because he says, he tells him the truth. He says, we were separated, and at last I saw him, we were on the ship, and then we crashed, and then I don't know. But anyway, who's going to torture him? Where is the boy? All right, back on board again. She's asking the computer about what that is, and they say we're told that it's there we go. This chap, I forgot the name, fought Nexus, like a robot man who wanted to take over, let's say, 52 solar system, and defeated by whoever he is, the fella from the sword, the Kakan. And there you go. 600 years later, another one did it with the bladeless sword. So there we go. That's we mentioned Nexus. Who is Zygon? Zygon is Nexus. And then he's asking where the blade is, and it says, basically, it's told it's on Trinia somewhere. But anyway, well, they've got to get to Trinia. And she says, well, we're going to go to Trinia then, because she's an independent woman. So that she takes him to Trinia. So we're on Trinia now. And then the shuttle, there we go, transport drops out of subspace, as they say. They mention subspace and they mention hyperspace. So they're covering all the bases. There was a personal transport belonging to the governor. So he routes it through. So they're going to go and see Zygon, or they think they are. But this robot won't let them through. So she says, she tells Mizo to shoot him. So said no one may enter. So there we go. Mizo shoots him. Bzzz, there we go. Because Mizo's got a laser thing in or whatever, electric thing in his head. But she still can't open the door. So he uses the blade, the sword thing, like a lightsaber, and cuts a hole in the door. So they go over there, and this is where they meet Zygon. And she's still saying, the governor's going to have words with you, etc. But this is where she learns that Zygon is a robot because he grabs Orin, the blade, and goes, "You a robot," and it injures Zygon, and we see he's got robot features on his face. And he says, "Not just a robot, I am the robot." And then we learn it was Nexus, so he's the one that's wanting to take over everything, replacing people with robots, essentially. That's what he's been doing for 1,000 years. There we go, the young Kakan. Kakan. But anyway, he's going to kill him. So I think he says to Mizo, shoot him, but all the robots shoot Mizo. Obviously he's not ready to kill her yet, or them. They're going to put him in prison. So they take him to the cells. They'll deal with him later, sort of thing. Anyway. Meanwhile, back on Bordegon, Silica's trying to fix I forgot his bloody name now. Arthur. Trying to fix Arthur. And she does. And Arthur says, "I'm naked," because he's all opened up. And he gives her a zap. She calls him an ungrateful son of a bitch. There's swearing in this film. Right, they're being put in the prison cells. We find Dag de Bream is there. He's got a headache already. The star thing, Starfly appears, and we learn it can talk. So that's in a minute. Yes, he's got the hilt as Zygon, so nothing can stop him now. His evil plan to take over. But there they go, 15 attack battalions of 1,000 troops, all standing by to invade Bordegon, which is, as I said, like the capital planet. So it's going to be a surprise. Anyway, right. So anyway, he thinks he's failed, does Orin. And she admits her love for him. We're obvious. But anyway, then Starfly appears in a minute. Oh, no, they take her away first. I forgot about that. They take her away. And give Orin a good hiding. But like I said, they're going to take her, put her on the flagship, so to speak, and use her as a hostage, so that her father won't open fire on the ship that she's aboard. And then you're lucky water snake, eat with the soft end. So they're ready, getting ready to go soon. And so where he does his little speech. A primitive chess computer was the first inorganic mind to beat man in the last such game. I will soon call checkmate. Blah blah blah. Right, so they're getting ready to go. So they've got to find a way out of this prison. And then this is there we go. Starfly appears. But then it can talk, and he says, "I need the hilt." And the Starfly says, "Don't need the hilt." He says, "No, I do. Go and get it." So it goes and gets the hilt. There you go. It takes care of a robot first. It gets a robot to shoot itself. And then it goes in and gets the hilt. All the ships are getting ready to go. But all the electrics, all the screens go off because the Starflyers are just flown into the room to get the hilt. And then it goes, picks up the hilt and flies back out with it. And so now he can escape now. He calls the guard robot, takes care of that, and then cuts a hole in the door, then frees Dag. who grabs a gun. So they've got to go and get aboard the flagship now and save Aviana and Bordegon. So are they on the ship already? They might actually be on the ship already, but getting on it. Oh, they're getting on it. They're going to get on the ship now. They see all the tanks being loaded and stuff. It's an invasion. This is before Phantom Menace, remember? So they're sneaking on with the tanks. That's what they're doing, hiding under a tank to sneak on board the ship. So, right. So they're off now. All the ships are flying up into space, getting ready to, do the jump to hyperspace. There we go. Some of them go there. Look. So off they go. Before they know, before they know it, Bordegon will be a smouldering lump of rock. Right. The Starchaser is ready to go. Now they can fly. So they get into the air. And the invasion fleet arrives at Bordegon. And Dag and Orin are hiding from some soldiers and accidentally open up a. There you go. Oh no, that's not showing it. Opens up this door and we see lots of soldiers in there, so it's a bit like stormtroopers in it. They close the door, then they start shooting to get out. Then they're hiding from these robots here. Then he accidentally presses a button, basically ejects all those soldiers. There they are. Look, ejecting all the robots and tanks and stuff. Then what's something? The flagship seems to have jettisoned its troops. So anyway, they get to the bridge, take control of the bridge, save Aviana. So now they've got to. There we go. Now they've got to stop the rest of the fleet. They've got to find a way because they're going to start deploying bombs and missiles and stuff. Zygon. Oh, there we go. It's been told it's jettisoned its ground forces. So he says, destroy the flagship. So that's what he's going to do. He notices the hilt's missing. So there we go. He realizes the Kakan is up to no good. Orin. So he tells them to destroy the flagship. So off they go. Being chased by fighters and stuff, or destroyers, or whatever. And this is where they meet up again with Arthur and the Starchaser. It's little flying about through canyons and stuff, before Independence Day. Apparently, some of this is CG. I don't know which bits, but some of it is. They're flying about. They've got to find a way. There we go. They're deploying the missiles now, all the other ships. They've got to find a way to basically detonate them before they're launched. Hopefully, the flagship doesn't have any missiles on. But Starfly helps him out, tells him which button to press. So then we go, and then all the ships explode. There you go. They're all exploding. Look. Watching on Trinia as all the fleets just disappearing, and then everything. They lose the signals. Yes, Leonhard, you're bored? Well, bugger off then. Bugger off if you don't want to watch this. Go away. I'm not interested. In fact, I might boot you. If you're not interested, don't watch it. Right, where were we? There's always one, isn't there? Right, so where were we? So they've blown up the fleet. Now they've got to go back to Trinia and save his people. So that's what they're doing now. So they're flying to the pyramid. Zygon knows they're there. In they go. There we go. That's the way in. Zygon thinks, he's got the better of them and gets him in a tractor beam. He's going to pull them down into these big chompers. And the Starchaser comes down and, it gets stuck in the tractor beam and allows Dag and the flagship to escape. So they've got to go and start blowing stuff up because they start getting attacked by fighters. Meanwhile, Starchaser's been pulled down to its doom, but luckily, one of the fighter that gets hit gets caught. By the tractor beam, releasing the Starchaser. There it is. Never see it now. It's going down. Look, and that fighter's gonna free it. You go, ah! There you go. So Starchaser's freed. Anyway, so go and deal with the Zygon. After they deal with all these, the flagship crashes. They're all, they're all right. Dag's got a broken leg. And Starchaser lands, and Dag says, "I've got to go and free my people." So off he goes. But then she sees Zygon's about to follow him, so she goes as well. He goes back down to the mines, and they think Zygon's coming, but it's not. It's Orin. Orin does a little speech and says, "It's true. There is another world out there. We don't belong here, etc." But then Zygon arrives, and he says, he's got his mask on, obviously. And he says, the boy is right. I tell you the truth. I tell you what I want you to believe because, it's the truth. Obviously, it's not. So they have a fight, and there you go. He's gonna throttle Aviana now. So he gives him the hilt. There you go. He's remembering Ilan. Gives him the hilt. And, it won't work for him. He throws him off the edge, and as he's hanging there, the Starfly comes back. There it is, look, and tells him, "You don't need the hilt. You never did. He can do it with his bare hands." So he climbs back up. Zygon tries to stand on his fingers, but he pulls himself back up. So he uses the Force now to create a lightsaber out of his bare hands. There it is, look. Chops off his arm and then cuts him in half. Darth Maul style. Chops him in half, sends him flying down. Remember, before Phantom Menace. So that's the end of Zygon. He goes into the lava, and all the guards get pushed over the side as well. But it's not the end yet, because the Starchaser's still being attacked by these fighters. But Silica takes control and starts shooting at them, but over the crystal, so everything's going to blow up. There we go. So the mine world starts collapsing because everything's blowing up now. So he uses the hilt. It becomes Moses now. He uses the hilt and he throws it, and he uses it like not to part the Red Sea, but to part the stone, the rock, to give him a passage out. And the Starchaser flies out just as everything's exploding, like the Millennium Falcon and the Death Star. There we go. There's the passage out. Let my people go. So they get out, and they're all fine and dandy. The pyramid exploded. Dag's fine, apart from his broken leg. He gives Ali his sight back. There you go. Uses his Kakan magic to give his brother his eyesight back. There you go. I can see again. And so they're in love. And then all the other Kakan appear now as starflies. There you go. They appear as people, ascended beings, if you will. And they say he can join them now, leave his corporeal form, and become one of those in the Kakan, like the ancients in Stargate. But he says, no, not yet. He wants to, have fun with her for a while. And he says, I want to stretch my legs for a few decades and other things. So they say, fair enough. And they say, okay, whenever you're ready. So they go off into the stars. And that's the end of the film. Yay, the end. Yay. I'm sure Leonhard's happy about that. But that's it. It's a cool film. That's it. It's not for kids. It's not a wrong button. Pressing the wrong button. There we go. It's not a kids' film. got some swearing in it and a bit of cheekiness, you know, for a cartoon. But it's a lot of fun, and I really like it. Anyway, so seeing as my audience is rapidly diminishing, I'm going to leave it there. So, thanks for watching, and wherever you are, look after each other, and until next time, I'll see thee.